Hi dear students, welcome to second class of solid state. At the end of first lecture, I have given you two questions. They are question number 1, why are solids rigid? Have you answered that question? Now check your answer with my explanation. Solids are rigid because the molecules in solids have strong intermolecular interactions. Next, the intermolecular distances in the constituent particles are very less. That's why they are very rigid. Next, number 2, why do solids have definite volume? This is because in solids, the constituent particles have strong intermolecular forces and their positions are fixed. Since the positions of these constituent molecules are fixed, their volume also fixed. That's why solids have definite volume. Okay, I hope you understand these answers. Next, let us move on to the next topic, second topic, classification of solids. Yes, dear students, based on the arrangement of constituent particles, solids are classified into two types. They are number 1, crystalline solids, and number 2, amorphous solids. This is one of the important questions from solid state. You may ask, write the differences between crystalline solids and amorphous solids in public exam. Let us start with crystalline solids. What are crystalline solids? Crystalline solids are the solids in which the constituent particles have orderly arrangement. That means particles are regularly or systematically arranged, orderly arranged. These are having orderly arrangement, and moreover this order is a long range order. That means crystalline particles have orderly arrangement and they have long range order. Amorphous solids, these amorphous solids do not have orderly arrangement. Actually, amorphous means no form. The meaning of amorphous is no form, means no order. So, amorphous solids do not have any orderly arrangement, and moreover, their arrangement is a short range arrangement. Okay, dear student, understood? What are crystalline solids? Crystalline solids are the solids which are having orderly arrangement of constituent particles, whereas amorphous solids are the solids which do not have orderly arrangement. Next, crystalline solids have long range order. Their amorphous solids have short range order. Next, crystalline solids are also called true solids. Crystalline solids are called true solids, whereas amorphous solids are called supercooled liquids. Amorphous solids are called supercooled liquids or pseudo-solids. We will discuss why they are called supercooled liquids. Because these amorphous solids have tendency to flow. That means they act as fluids. They are called, that's why they are called supercooled liquids or pseudo-solids. For example, when we observe glass windows of olden days, the bottom of the glass window appears thicker than the top. From that we can understand the glass particles of that amorphous solid flowing down and making the glass panes thicker than the top. Okay, next come to melting points. Melting points. The melting points of crystalline solids are sharp. That means crystalline solids have sharp melting points or fixed melting points, whereas melting points of amorphous solids is not sharp, not definite. Next, heat of fusion. Heat of fusion or enthalpy of fusion. The value of enthalpy of fusion is fixed or definite for crystalline solids, whereas heat of fusion for amorphous solids is not fixed, is not sharp. The reason for this also same as the above, orderly arrangement and a non-orderly arrangement. Next, anisotropy. Anisotropy. What is anisotropy? Anisotropy means if you measure the physical property, any physical property of crystalline solids, they give different values in different directions. That means, suppose if you consider this chalk piece is a crystalline solid. Now it has a 3 axes of measurement, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Now I would like to measure its refractive index. Refractive index is one of the physical properties. Now I want to measure its refractive index along the x-axis. If I measure its refractive index along the x-axis, I may get some value, say for example 10. Now in the second time, I would like to measure its refractive index along y-axis. This time I will get some different value, say for example 12 units. Third time, I have measured its refractive index along z-axis. Then I may get some different value, say for example 16. What we can understand from this? If I change the direction of measurement, the value, the physical quantity also changing. Such properties are called anisotropic properties. To say simply, the property whose values changes along the direction of measurement. If direction of measurement changes, the value of the physical property also changes. Such properties are called anisotropic properties. Now amorphous solids exhibit isotropic property. Isotropic, just opposite to the previous one. If you measure the physical property in any direction, we will get the same value along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis. Whatever the direction of measurement, the value of physical quantity will be same. Such properties are called isotropic property. So these isotropic and anisotropic properties are very important. We may get a very short answer question, 2 marks question in a board exam. Okay, next cleavage property. Cleavage property. Cleavage property means when we cut with a sharp edged tools like knife, they cut into 2 pieces. Suppose this is, I am just considering this, I have joined these 2 chalk pieces, just for instance, you consider this is actually one piece. This is one piece, one chalk piece. Okay. Now, let's consider this pen as a knife, sharp edged tool. Now I am cutting this chalk piece with this sharp edged tool. Okay, after cutting, I will get 2 parts, 2 different parts. Then if I observe these 2 different parts having very smooth surfaces. See, this surface is smooth, this surface is smooth. Crystalline solids are cut with sharp edged tools like knife. They give smooth surfaces. Whereas In case of amorphous solids, the cleavage property is just opposite. When we cut amorphous solids with sharp edged tools like knife, they do not give smooth surfaces. See, for example, now I have cut this chalk piece into two pieces. Now it is having some up and downs. That means some rough surface. That means such type of solids are called amorphous solids. That means amorphous solids give rough surface when they cut with a knife or sharp edged tools. Next, last property, physical state. Physical state. The physical state of crystalline solids already we have discussed in last class. That is, they are incompressible. Incompressible. That means incompressible and rigid. Whereas amorphous solids are comparatively are compressible and not rigid. Comparatively, amorphous solids are compressible and not rigid. Let's take few examples. Examples for crystalline solids are, many examples are there actually. Simplest example is sodium chloride, quartz, iron, magnesium, aluminium, all such metals and so on. Next, amorphous solids, the best examples are glass. We can also say quartz glass actually. Quartz glass, rubber, plastic, etc. Okay, dear students, these are the few main differences between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. This is one of the important topics from this chapter. Okay, go through this video and try to understand all the topics. I hope you understood. Okay, thank you. See you in the next topic, part 3, the next video.